lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much This is the Loretta Petite Show. Yes, it is. Women winning at life from ministry to marketplace. And yes, we win. So I want to say to you, my sisters, wherever you are, wake up and breathe. Wake up and feel. Wake up and smell the roses. Wake up to live, to laugh, to learn, and to be all that God created you to be. It is Women's Month, and it's my pleasure to be sharing with you on today. And I've got a powerful woman of God that will be sharing her story in just a moment or two. But I'm Loretta Petite. I want you to reach out to me. You could always do that. If you find that you have a question, you can dial in at 646-564-9842 and stand by until we let you know that we're ready to talk to you and get that question from you. Once again, you might want to dial that number, 646-564-9842. We want to give a shout-out to Mr. Jerry Royce on today, as well as to Kimmy Kim, our sponsors. We're so glad to be a part of the network. And it is a great network that can make a powerful teamwork happen. And I'm grateful. So thank you, lady. Thank you, gent. It is, once again, the Loretta Petite Show, Women Winning at Life, from ministry to marketplace. So wherever you are in between, you don't have to take no as a final answer. You can be what God calls you. He said you are the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath, that you are the lender and not the borrower. Now, you may get other voices that tell you other things, but that's what the Lord says. And whose report are you going to believe? That's the question. So, my friends, if you want to reach out to me via email, you may want to be a part of the program, you may want to give me a comment, or you may have a question after the show, you can send your email to me, Loretta Reviews, that's REVIEWS, Loretta Reviews @gmail.com. Well, now it's time for me to talk to my guest for today. She came before and she gave us a little glimpse of the big picture. She'll give us a bigger glimpse now because it's so much to her story, but our broadcast is only so long. So listen, I want you to give ear to Miss Chantel Frank. She is a survivor. She is a powerful young woman of God. I've been knowing her for many years, but she's come into her own. She is also in health care. So I'm just happy for her life, for her beautiful family. Without any further ado, hi, Chantel. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Great. Blessed to be a blessing. And so with your story, you're talking about a disease that was creeping up into your bloodline, and you became proactive to find out how you could combat what may be coming up on you based on things that had already happened in your bloodline, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So
my mother...
Share your story, Chantel. Yeah, sure. Share your story.
So my mom, Elder Constance Carter, she's very faithful to Greater St. Stephen's, and she was unfortunately diagnosed with ovarian cancer at a young age, in like her mid-40s. And at that time, I also had an aunt who was diagnosed with breast cancer as well in her mid-40s. So from that, you know, when your mother gets diagnosed with something, you really do start to put your heart into it. How can I make her better? What can I do? And I just started to research the disease process and what was going on. And what I found with ovarian cancer is that there are no diagnostic procedures that can tell you the early stages of this disease. It's very different from breast cancer. With breast cancer, you can like palpate your breast and feel a lump or like kind of notice that something's going on. The ovaries, however, are so deep within our pelvis that you really can't sense that there's a problem. So, and that still stands today. So my mom died in 2008. Here we are 10 years later, and actually today's her birthday. So we're 10 years later, and this still, Yeah, it's still the same situation. There are no measures that you can take as far as screening yourself early to detect ovarian cancer, except now we do have some genetic testing, which is the BRCA gene testing. It tests not only for breast and ovarian cancer, but also tests for prostate cancer in men, and then for different like other cancers in women as well. So it's not just for women, it's for both men and women. It would tell you your likeliness to get this disease. And so what I do want for people to recognize is that this testing is covered by your insurance. You do have to have a family history of breast or ovarian cancer if we're dealing with women particularly. You have to have that history, and then it's covered by your insurance. So once you get that information, you now have a family history as well as genetic data to kind of help guide you in your choices through life. Like it helped me. It made me make the decision to have a complete hysterectomy at 35 years old, and then also have a double mastectomy with reconstruction because my risk for cancer was so high. And I do feel that when you are proactive about your health, then you can be more preventative. And then you can also, like if you, like let's say that you have already been diagnosed with breast cancer and you already have that lump present. Most women are like, I want a complete mastectomy. Take my breasts, take them off. I want to live. I'm going to fight this. But let's say you have something that you can do that can predict your future of having breast cancer. And if you acted prophylactically, now there are a lot of scars and deep incisions associated with breast cancer after you find the cancer. So if you are proactive and you are preventative, you can reduce the scarring to where it's not visible. So when I went in with my genetic data and my family history and I showed them I had an 85% chance of breast cancer and a greater than 50% chance of ovarian cancer because of my mother, that it was time for me to have those surgeries done. And the methods that they wanted to use were the same methods that were used for a woman who had cancer or a tumor in the breast. But I did not have cancer, so I could be a little bit more involved with the process. I wasn't chasing a disease. I wasn't chasing a tumor. It was like, and then I'm a nurse practitioner, and my training was in pediatric surgery, so I know the body pretty well. And I also did multiple surgeries on young women and their breasts, and I know that we can do these procedures without being so invasive. And that's like what I want to get out there to women, is that you can take these tests, these genetic tests. It can be covered by your insurance as long as your family speaks about it, tells you what happened. You know, sometimes we don't want to talk about it, but we need to talk about it so that we can help women in my generation not have to go through the same thing. So I really want everyone to know that you can get this genetic testing done, and then from there you can choose whether you want to have these surgeries, which are also covered by your insurance. The entire process, including the reconstruction of the breast, it's covered by your insurance, and not just private insurance, both Medicare, Medicaid, as well as Blue Cross, Blue Shield. All of the insurance, by law, they have to cover the reconstructive part as well. And then when you're doing it prophylactically, you're not chasing a cancer. So you kind of know you're going to be able to sit there with the surgeon, with the oncologist, and say, and with the OBGYN, well, I want to have the surgery in 2 months. And you have 2 months to prep for this surgery, which is what I did. Like, I knew I was going to not be able to use a certain part of my body, so I prepped my other parts of my body, like my core, physically, so that I could handle these surgeries and bounce back. So you can be in control of the situation rather than chasing a disease or being more susceptible to whatever the surgeon kind of tells you what needs to be done to save your life.
Wow, that's so much you shared.
I know it's a lot.
So, no, but it was all good stuff. So you are sounding like a woman of discipline. As you said, you prepped yourself. You got yourself ready. You said you did the research. You found out some things you knew already because of your line of work, but other things you looked into. You became a part of the process. So, you know, it's great when you are disciplined and when you're focused. And unfortunately, many people are not there, and they take whatever they're offered and they go with that. They don't ask questions. I'm going to say we, because I know there have been times in my life I didn't ask questions either. I just always believed that the doctor knew best. But
and that's okay.
Mature,
yes, and I know that is going on. So I know, and that's why I'm speaking up to say that does not have to happen. So I know how it feels when you get these diagnoses, and literally you're scared, you're frightened, and you're like, please help me. Like, and you are putting complete trust in the doctors. And I am not saying to not trust them. I'm saying let's work together, and we can make the decisions together if we study, if we look into our own genetic history, like, and then we can present them with a different situation. And so it's okay also to
Chantel, they go on, the doctors are going on divulge.
Hello?
Like I said, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So the doctors, let me repeat, the doctors go on what they know. So if we don't open up and divulge to them with accuracy the things that have gone on in our bloodline, especially immediate, like our mom or our dad, things that have happened, in our families, then they can only go on the amount of information that we have shared. And you made a point earlier, we don't talk about it. And we have many times come up in certain things you don't talk about. So you get so used to not talking about it that when you get in front of your doctor, you're still dealing with that mindset. Now, that's the time to stop dealing with that old mindset, and that's the time to say, oh, no, I've got to share with him everything I know so I can get the best treatment possible.
Yes, and you're right. So what I have noticed and what I've found and I've experienced is that when you say you do have cancer, whether it be breast or ovarian, women are sometimes shamed, and they feel that they will be looked at as if they are weak and they are not strong, even though they will fight it and win. And I know this personally because with my mother, when she was fighting ovarian cancer, I purchased the teal ribbon that signifies you are a survivor or you're a fighter of ovarian cancer. And I was like, Mom, let's put this on your car. Like, let's be proud about this, that you've been diagnosed and you fought, and you, as far as we knew at that moment, we were winning the fight. And my mom did not want it on her car. She was like, no, I don't. There was a part of her that wanted to keep it private. She didn't want people to know about it. So that's a very real thing, and it's understandable. And every woman has their right to, it's a lot to go through. So not wanting to talk about it, not wanting to share, I do understand that. But if we are going to fight and we are going to win, we have to talk about it. We have to say something. It was unfortunate that it took me to walk into that surgeon's office for me to realize this is not the way it should be done. Like, it's been done on so many women inappropriately, so invasive, these scars that they have on their breasts, and they're primarily done by men. And I was told by the male surgeons, oh, this is going to look good. And I was like, no, it's not going to look good. and I know that there's another way. But I have come from a different, like I have a fortunate knowledge of the body. For the woman who does not have that knowledge, they deserve the same exact surgery that I got. They deserve the same exact respect. And if we don't share and communicate, we won't be able to have less invasive procedures or be more ahead of this disease. And we cannot be ashamed of it anymore. And we need to speak up about it and be proud. Like, yes, I've done this. I've gone through this, and this is what I don't want you to go through. One of my family members has followed my steps and gotten tested, and I was just like, so she has to follow similar steps as me, and I am excited to be a part of this process with her. I'm like, those doctors are going to be so mad at me because I'm just going to change up everything that they thought, because everything that I went through, I don't want her to go through. And so I'm going to help her. And that cannot happen unless we talk about it and say something. And then, I do have the validity. I do have the validity of being a nurse practitioner, because there is something, if you're going to stand up against the powers that be, you have to be backed with the knowledge of the situation. And so when I presented the knowledge, there was nothing, you could not attest what I was presenting. And, that takes research, and it takes studying, it takes knowing and becoming knowledgeable about it. And things that you fear, often you should start to learn more about it so you're not so afraid, and then you can know how to better deal with the situation.
That's absolutely beautiful, Chantel. You have put in the work, and you're showing us how to fight, because we understand that breast cancer is very prevalent, and ovarian cancer and cervical cancer and all those things women have on their minds as they get older. And we were even talking about the fact that your mom was diagnosed in her early 40s or mid-40s.
Yeah.
So that's not old at all.
It's not young.
Age, it is. And as women age, though, these thoughts run across their minds because of the prevalence of it, in women. It's kind of like men with their prostate. Women are going to have all of these situations. Something may occur. Most likely it will, is what the thought is and what the talks are about at the coffee table and things of that nature. But I have to applaud you, because you are teaching us how to fight. First, we fight with that research. We get in there. We learn about what that thing is, and we get an understanding about it. And then when we face our physicians, we open up and tell them about our history. And then we look at what they want to do to us, and we go in there and try and be a part of that process. And try and find the best way, not just maybe what they've been doing, but is there now a better way? Is there a different technique?
Exactly. There is there a better way? Is there a better technique? And it's not like I didn't insult the doctors or their knowledge. I just said, well, I think we can do it this way instead. And they agreed, so, and it took me to research it and to know. So it's not like you're being disrespectful. You're becoming a part of the process, which is how medicine should be. It's your body. It's your life. And also with breast cancer is so far ahead than ovarian cancer, because they've had so much funding into the research of it, which is why I'm speaking up, so that we can get more research and funding towards ovarian cancer. But when you become a part of the process and a part of the team, like, look at your perspective. Your perspective completely changes. Like, you're no longer afraid. You're a fighter, and you are encouraged because it's your body and you want to live. And so we need to tell each other. We need to talk about it. And it honestly took my friends and my mother, who I would not know as much as I know about ovarian cancer if my mother had not gone through ovarian cancer. And that's where I think God has a role and puts you where you should be in life. I would have never thought that it would have taken the loss of my mother for me to get this out for other women. But, you know, we have to talk about it. That is the only way it can be fixed. That's the only way it can be changed, is if we know about it. And it's unfortunate that it took so long for me to learn about it, because the minute that I wish I had this knowledge when my mom was here, you know? And so now we're fortunate where your mother's alive or your aunt's alive, where you can talk about this and say, hey, let's go get tested. Or, hey, what happened to aunt, grandma, cousin, something that just died and I don't know why? You know, like, what happened? Like, what do you think happened, or what was going on? And you can use that as a tool to secure your life, not as something to be ashamed of, but as something to become knowledgeable about, and then to move forward with the information. It's a different place to be. Women need to be more in front, more vocal, and we can't change it if we don't know about it.
Absolutely. If you're just tuning in, this is the Loretta Petite Show, Winning at Life from Ministry to Marketplace. My guest is Ms. Chantel Frank. She is a nurse practitioner, and she is helping us to know how to fight for our own well-being through health care and through being a part of the process. Should we find ourselves facing cancer or having that gene? Tell us a little bit about that. We have about 2 minutes.
Okay, so I'll tell you really quickly. So the BRCA gene, now I want you to make this relatable, I want you to think of Jurassic Park. Everyone has seen Jurassic Park, when the very first one where they were talking about the genetic code and making these dinosaurs out of that code. So we all have that genetic code in our body. Now with us, if you test positive for this mutation, you unfortunately do not become a superhero like the Black Panther or an X-Men character. It actually makes you more susceptible to disease. So this testing, it's called BRCA genetic testing. There's a BRCA1 gene and a BRCA2 gene. And it is not just the presence of the gene, it's the mutation of the gene. It makes us more susceptible to breast cancer, to ovarian cancer, to prostate cancer. So it's not just women, it's also men. So the testing is also available at Quest Diagnostics. It's available through Console. I'm about to do this run on the North Shore to promote testing, and the testing will be available at the site at Hannah's Closet. And the testing is what lets us know what our percentages for a particular cancer are. And the testing is covered by insurance if you have a family history. So you don't have to worry about cost, which is regularly a $400 test, but it's covered by insurance if you have a family history. And that's why you have to talk about it. You have to know about your history.
Very good information. I'm not sure if we had any callers today, but very good. Chantel, very good information. Thank you very much for being a part of the show today. We kept trying to do it, and we finally got the information out to the person.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Great guest, great information, and Godspeed, Chantel. Keep on fighting and keep on teaching us.
I will.
Something our babies grow up to be our teachers. They grow up to be our physicians. They grow up to be our attorneys. So just so awesome, and I'm very proud of you. Keep up the great work.
Thank
Anything
you.
you'd like to say in closing?
I would like to say happy birthday to my mother, Elder Constance Carter. None of this would be without her, and her faith in God was so strong. And it is why I am the woman I am today. And I want to thank you for being a part of my life since I was a little girl and allowing me to be a part of your show to help other women. It brings me great joy, and I will do it whenever you ask me to. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And it's just like you said, ironic, it is Connie's birthday. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It is.
Take care, Chantel, and we'll talk real soon.
Have a good day.
Thank you
Love
all.
You.
Yes, you too. for being a part of the program on today, everybody. It is my intent to cause self-evaluation for the purpose of elevation. Whatever I can bring to you that will be a help to you, I'm open to that. So reach out to me via email, LorettaReviews@gmail.com. What platform are you standing on? What fight are you fighting? What cause are you pushing? LorettaReviews@gmail.com. This has been the Loretta Petite Show, Women Winning at Life, from ministry to marketplace. May God bless you and may God keep you. Happy Women's Month. Till next time, bye-bye.
That's right. Yeah. Pray to him. You got to put in the work too. That's right. You just can't pray. He just give it to you. No, he ain't gonna give it to you. You gotta put in the work. He gonna put in the work. We gonna put in the work. And we put it together, and it's called teamwork. Now everybody knows that nothing comes easy when you gotta go late. You might have a chance, but you gotta have faith if you want the right things in life. Everybody wants that easy road. Nobody wanna put in the work. Then you point your fingers at God 'cause it didn't work. Now you got your feelings hurt. Why? Because you did not pray. Why? Because you didn't have faith. Why? Your heart was not in the right place. Why? Or maybe you was in a dark place. But this is not the time to be down. So you better stand up. You better turn that frown upside down. And you better stand up. You gotta put in the work. He gon' put in the work. We gon' put in the work. And we put it together, and it's called teamwork. See, everyone in life has had to go and face their fears. And if there is a lack of prayer, then soon follow the tears. So never give up hope, because there is nothing to fear. Just put in the work and you will see it all so clear. Oh, so clear. Wait a minute, you got to focus on you. Oh, so clear. And when you plant that seed, that's when he'll come through. Oh, so clear. There is no I in you, so you better team up. Oh, so clear. I got the perfect partner for you. Just look up. You gotta put in the work. He gon' put in the work. We gon' put in the work. And we put it together, and it's called teamwork. W means you're willing to fight for it all. O means outlasting every downfall. R means resurrection, God all up in this place. K means you kick the devil right in his face, and I'm like, work, pray, work, come on and work. Pray, work, come on and work. Pray, work, come on and work. Pray, work, pray, work. You gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the work. He gon' put in the work. He gon' put in the work. We gon' put in the work. You gotta put in the work. And we put it together, and it's called teamwork. Here we go now.